Hello! Today we are reading this beautiful book and it's one of my favorites, and the title of the book is Can You Dance, Dalila? The story is written by Virginia Kroll and the pictures are by Nancy Carpenter. Okay, so let's begin. Each time I open this book, it gives me so much joy. In February, when a fever kept Dalila home from school, Grandma let her watch TV. There was a Valentine's Day special about ballroom dancing. Dalila watched the partners waltz and tango, rumba and cha-cha. These are names of different dances. They did promenades and pivots, loop turns and long steps. Someday I'm gonna dance, Dalila said, falling asleep to a foxtrot. Okay, so that's what she was dreaming about. That's little Dalila, okay? And that's what she was dreaming about. The next day, when she was feeling better, Dalila used Grandma's broom for a partner. But the broom didn't hold her or smile back. And it tripped her when she tried to change places with it. So she tried to do ballroom dancing with the broom because she didn't have a partner. But it wasn't comfortable dancing with the broom. And she kept tripping. In March, Grandma took Dalila to the Irish Centre where Mrs. Shia's granddaughter Shannon was performing an Irish dance. Dalila watched Shannon's feet move in quick steps and rapid shuffles. Her body was straight and stiff as a pine tree trunk, and she kept her arms rigid at her sides. When Dalila learned that Shannon's dance was called a jig, she giggled. Grandma said, "That's perfect, a neat little name for a tidy little dance." That's Dalila's grandma, and that's Dalila over there. And these are the Irish dancers who are doing the jig. What's that dance called? A jig. Dalila went home and put on her green and white dress. She tied green yarn to the ends of her braids. She tried the jig, but her arms wouldn't cooperate. They wanted to keep time with the rest of her. "There are other kinds of dancing," said Grandma, when Dalila was disappointed that she couldn't do the jig. Then let's see what happened. Do you think she gave up? I don't think so. In April, Grandma took Dalila to a line dance demonstration at the community center. Dalila loved the dancers' western wear and the designs on their leather boots. She liked how they cocked their heads and kicked up their heels and stomped forward, clomped backwards, and whooped with their voices now and then. They reminded Dalila of a school of fish, a swish in perfect time. So these are the western dancers, okay? And those are the boots, the leather boots, and their hats, the cowboy hats. Okay, she really liked their line dancing. So do you think she would have gone back home and tried this form of dancing? I think she would have. When Dalila got home, she changed into her jeans and denim shirt and pulled on her winter boots. She asked Grandma to find a country western radio station, and then Grandma, Dalila and Dalila's cousin Kiki, who was spending the night with them, began to line dance too. But when Dalila tried to kick up her heels, she bruised her shins instead, and the music kept getting way ahead of Dalila's legs, so she couldn't keep up with the music when she was dancing. Okay, so that's Grandma, and that would be Kiki, and that's Dalila, and they were trying to do the line dance, but they couldn't do it together. "I have a surprise for you," Grandma told Dalila the last week in May. She held out 2 tickets. Rashida Roberts from church is in the ballet recital next Saturday. "Hooray!" Dalila shouted with joy. She had never been to the Performing Arts Center before. Okay, so that's a top view of the center where they were going to see the ballet recital. I want you to spot Grandma and Dalila over here. Here they are. When Dalila saw the spotlight settle on Rashida, she thought she would never breathe again. Oh my God, she loved Rashida's performance so much. Rashida's skirt was dusted with sequins and it rustled like the summer leaves. Rashida's arms and legs flowed smoothly, and when she arched her body, Dalila thought of a colorful, snewy snake curving in an unbroken motion. Rashida leaped across the stage in a giant jetty, and her image whisked by in a glistening blur. Just like a shooting star, Dalila thought, with her eyes a twinkle. Oh my God, she had never seen such a beautiful dance performance. Okay, so Dalila was really happy, and she was so pleased looking at Rashida's dance. Later, Dalila, when she went home, she put on all 4 of her swingy skirts and tried ballet in front of Grandma's full-length mirror. I look more like a frog than a ballerina, she said when she did her first plie. Her feet looked like a clown's when she did the tendis, and an arabesque landed her smack on the floor. Okay, so when she tried to do these ballet steps, she looked like a frog, she said. At school in June, Jeremy's father came in for a show and tell. Do you have show and tell in your school? Yeah, so just like that, Dalila too had it. He was the tap dance teacher at Got Dance Academy. He showed the class the clickety-clicks on the bottom of his jet black shiny shoes. So tap dancers always have to wear shiny black shoes, okay? Wearing that, they do their tap dancing. It seemed that Mr. Wise's feet made 3 ticks and 4 tocks for every one step he danced. Sometimes he looked like he was gliding on air, and when he spun, his long arms looked like the blades of a windmill. Dalila felt the breeze as he whirled past. So that's the tap dancer, okay? And his shoes, shiny black shoes, and that's Dalila looking really engrossed in his dance. And those are all of Dalila's classmates. They are all looking at the dance. And as usual, Dalila went back home and she would have tried the tap dancing. Dalila dashed off the bus and headed straight for Grandma's closet. She found Grandma's dressy heels and slipped them on. She scooted to the kitchen and began to brush and shuffle to toe point and heel drop, just like Mr. Wise showed the class. But her smiles turned to frowns when she listened. Her taps and ticks sounded more like thuds and thumps. At last she stumbled, landing with a bump. I'll never be a dancer, Dalila sighed, and she put the shoes away. Now Dalila had really lost hope and she had given up. My God. In July, Grandma said, we are going to the festival at the university. For what, Grandma? Asked Dalila. The West African troupe is coming, Grandma said. As soon as Dalila and Grandma got off the bus, Dalila heard the drumming. The noise sent tingles to her tummy and shivers up her spine. Okay, so when they reached there, Dalila saw a lot of people, but what caught her attention was the drum beats that she heard. The drums rumbled like thunder. The dancers rocked and reeled to the beat. The rhythm quickened. The dancers bobbed and circled like bushes being blown by a hurricane. They pranced like young zebras and leaped like antelopes and landed like leopards in practiced pounces. Dalila's hands were sore from clapping. She was so happy and enjoyed that music and that dance that she was just happily clapping and clapping and clapping, and her hands got sore looking at the dancers and clapping continuously to the beats of the music. Those are the African dancers. You see them? And just look how happy Dalila was. And that's Grandma. When there was silence, the dancers invited the audience to form an akpasa, a group that dances to whatever feelings the music gives them. The drums began their beating, and then Dalila saw no more. She closed her eyes, and her heart was the drum. She was a sun-warmed snake, a slither on the sand, and she was the agile antelope and the fish keeping pace with its partners. She was the newborn zebra struggling to stand. Dalila heard galloping hooves all around her, and when she opened her eyes, she saw that she was the center of a huge circle. Everyone was gathered in, caught by the strings of her spirit. Okay, so Dalila was so happy. She just closed her eyes and she started dancing to the music, what she heard. And whatever dance came to her, she just flowed with that. With the music, she just danced. With her spirit, she danced. Okay, she didn't think about any particular steps or, any particular dance form. She just flowed happily to the music. And because she was so spirited, at that particular time, that she attracted all the crowd who was there sitting and watching her. They too joined, in a big circle. They started dancing all around her. And that's Dalila in the center, and all the people were dancing all around her. Dalila didn't stop. Her arms and legs were the whirring windmill. Her body was the trembling tree, bowing to the breeze. Most of all, Dalila was like the shooting star, dazzling bright and lighter than air. So that's the end of our story. And something that I learned from this story is that whenever you do what comes from within you, you are just so happy doing that everyone really likes it. And you give joy to everyone by doing that, and it gives joy to you too. So it's like a win-win thing, that you are enjoying the process and everyone else is also happy looking at you. So discover that, and she initially tried to copy different people, but later she actually did what came from within her. So we all need to discover what comes from within us and share that with everyone around us. I hope you like this story.